Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Sorry, move some stuff around. Do do do. I had my cup of coffee, so I've reversed to Diet Coke. Works just as well for me. It's showtime. You're right. It is showtime. Everybody, good morning. Today we're going to be working on the Mega Man helmet. We're going to be doing some little cleanup, then inserts, and I just remembered something else I want to do. Let me grab the pattern because a little tweaking I have to do. Get everything cleared up here, guys. Hold on. I'm prepped a little bit, but I have something just popped in my head. I realized we had to fix real fast here. Put this aside. And my stone bit. Hold on. Okay. Also, midnight here in my place, watching you while lying in bed. Oh, dude, that's nice. Lying in bed and watching stuff is cool. I love doing that. Like, oh, I'm just gonna kick it, watch some people do stuff while I'm resting. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining today. It's Gundam. Daniel, thank you. Kathy. Guys, thank you for coming. Ooh, Kevin. Morning. Hey, Ash Gaming. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Like Kurt, I always keep this camera. I gotta adjust this camera more. Like, is it coming more like that? Yeah, it's better. I had a couple people ask me about the Scum and Villainy workshop thing in Cantina. I'll let people know. JC is extremely busy, as I am, and so I'm doing stuff and he's doing stuff. So it's kind of like we love it. We'll probably bring it back, but we're both kind of overwhelmed right now. So I think like with scheduling, and I think when he's ready, he'll let me know. But right now he's got a lot on his plate, and I'm doing this job as well. But we will, once we get caught up, we're definitely gonna bring it back. Hey, the modifier. Good morning, sir. How are you? We're gonna do a little cleanup, and we're gonna do some patching, and we're gonna do some detail work with cutting. And oh, Horsehead Productions. What? Hold on.
Wow, so many streams. Seems like yesterday that I first subscribed.
My gosh, I'll say, get Horsehead Production number quickly, guys. That is from my Twitch stream. If you guys are watching this on Twitch, again, thank you so much. But I'm simulcasting, so I'm over here on YouTube Live. I have the chat open here on YouTube. Unfortunately, I do not have the chat open on Twitch, just on YouTube, because I cannot juggle both. It's hard enough just to keep up with one. So if you guys are watching this on Twitch, again, thank you so much for your support and your subscriptions and your support. But if you want to chat, come over here to YouTube, the Evil Dead channel. I'll see you there. Come and hang out with us and chat. All right. Let me set up this camera real quick. Overhead. Everything adjusted, moving aside. Try to clear the frame. Sorry guys, move this real quick. And hit record. Thanks, I haven't done that yet. Okay, Becky, I started recording. All right, we got the helmet here. This is great, looks good. We're gonna take a stone bit I have and clean these edges up a little bit. But I realized something when I had the earpiece, which, hold on, where's my earpieces? Oh, hold on. This earpiece drops here. I like this part in the front, but this detail right here is a little bit of a space behind it. I designed it with it kind of falling, so it's a little short, which is not a big deal. I'm just going to take a Sharpie and draw my line there. I do the same thing for the other side, because I like the placement in the front, but it's a little off back here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a line. See, that's what we're going to do. And then what I do is bring the pattern back here and retrace it. Because the plan was to have it sit kind of like there, but then come back till it hits the line. Like that. Yeah, just like that. Come back right there. Okay. Better. All right. So we're going to do these detail pieces we have here. We're going to cut them. We're going to recess them. So let me get my blade, make sure it's sharp. And I'm going to take this guy. Like that. I'm going to get right in there. Let's just cut all the way through very carefully. Yeah, there it is. So I keep going back and forth, so I'm going all the way through. And I cut right to the corner. Like that. Pull it out, turn the blade around. I do the same thing this side. Come, cut. Like that. Right. Same drill very carefully. Flip it around with the blade facing the... Sorry guys, the microphone was not in my face. Try to... Okay. Yeah, missed a spot right there. Keep going. Like that. There we go. Okay, so make sure you cut it all the way through. Let's go ahead and keep that in place. We'll go to the other side. Since the audio is bad, the microphone, let's go ahead and do this again. Right, make sure your blade is nice and sharp. Now, we're going to take the blade, and what I do is I don't try to cut all the way through the first time. I just kind of score the surface like that. Right, and you go back again. line it back up, push all the way through. So once you get all the way through, you take that blade and go right to the corner, like this. Right, and then you take the blade out and turn the blade around the other direction for the cut on the other side, just like that. Right to the Sharpie line, like that. Excellent. And then we do the same thing here again on this edge. One light pass. Come back again. And keep going. T on the other side. Perfect. All right. Okay. There you go, all the way through. Got it. Flip the blade around the other direction. Color one side, like that. All right, good. All the way through. Okay, on this one, let's go ahead and get our craft knife. A little smaller, same thing. We're going to do this right back here. Tell you what, let's get a brand new X-Acto blade. Sorry. Before cutting, let's go ahead and get a brand new craft knife. Craft knife blade. Again, I highly recommend you get these, buy a pack of these. It's such a lifesaver. You can resharpen them, but just sometimes it's just better, and you just can't beat a sharp craft knife blade. So I just take this guy out, put a new one in. All right. Oh, so much better. Yeah, all the way through. Like that. And the reason I have the craft knife, because there's a curve here, and it's a lot easier to do with a craft knife blade. So I'm just going to cut in here and just follow this line. Like that, all the way through. And right here. Got that. And you notice, see, I'm just taking my time. No rushy. Taking your time. Nice and clean. Be patient. Got it. Make sure it's cut. Now, you'll push and pull. You'll see some spots that are like, you can see where it didn't cut all the way through. So you just go back in with the blade. Got it. And this one too. Got it. Perfect. Okay, see. All the way through. One more. And again. Got it. That curved area. Like that. That. There we go. There we go. Okay, good. Now they're cut all the way through. Excellent. Now let me put my gloves on. Pow. Now, what we're going to do is take these guys out one at a time. And then I'm going to take some contact cement. I'm going to put it inside the edges of this guy. Right? Okay. Then you take your piece here and apply contact cement. Like that. And like that. Now the trick is, while it's still wet, you put it back in. Perfect. So what you do is you drop it to the desired thickness. So I like just to add detail. So I don't want to go too deep. I just do like about, I'd say like a 1/16 of an inch there, like that. See, just that little bit of that recess looks nice. So we're going to go ahead and leave that in, let that dry. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Pop it out. Apply contact cement on all the edges and the inside. You know, I can't remember where I learned this trick. I just remember working on something, like adding detail to something, and instead of adding more pieces to something or cutting something out and replacing it, you just take the actual piece itself and just cut all the way through the foam, and then you just use the same piece and just push it back a little bit. And it adds such a massive amount of detail with the minimum amount of work. It's just really easy to do. And make sure go around, make sure it's even, looking good. Okay, great. Now, of course, we'll come back and clean this up, but you want to let it dry first. Let's catch up with chat. While the glue is drying, let's see what everybody's up to. Power patterns, slicey. Nothing beats a nice sharp blade, right? I couldn't agree more. Your results may vary. That's true. Take two. Don't cut off your fingers. What horse said? No rushy, no pokey. That's what she said. Okay. Oh, Becky. No pokey. Yeah. Chat is like life. He's dying. Oh, you guys are funny. Anyway. Becky, I am breaking down a schedule this week. I'm starting to learn how to do Inkscape. I know I've been saying this for years, but there's a job I want to do, and my friend Eddie's doing it, and I figured that it would make the job go faster, a little bit more easier, if I hone my skills on how to work into Inkscape and stuff. So, Ted, I want to build a vacuum former. You can, Becky. There's some good tutorials out there. You get it's something really simple as a box. The trick is it's not the box and the vacuum is the tricky part. It's the frame. Like you need like a metal frame to clamp the. You have to put like get a the frame that drops on top of the vacuum table you're making has to be a nice metal frame, and then it has to be nice with some. Put some like thin pieces of a foam strip on it. Or basically just take some really thin like 2 mil EVA foam strips and glue them onto the metal frame. So when you put the styrene plastic in there, you clamp it really tight, and then it holds. It makes a vacuum form a seal. Making the box is easy. Making the frame is the difficult part. But I totally support you. You should make one. Once I stabbed my thigh with an X-Acto blade, dude, I've stabbed when I was a kid. Yeah, I stabbed myself pretty bad. It made me realize, slow down. If something's dull, I've actually hurt myself more on dull blades than I do with sharp ones. Because when they're dull, you're pushing harder, and if you're doing that, change the blade. Oh yeah, Becky, definitely. But all you need, yeah, get that perforated that pegboard stuff they sell like at hardware stores. Build yourself a low profile box with a hole for the vacuum for a shop vac. Plug it in there, and then when you get that plastic hot to trick it. Another thing is that the vacuum former, you need, again, not just the frame, the heating elements, because you've got to heat the plastic evenly. If you have plastic with a heat gun, it doesn't work. You need a heating tray. Bill Duran built one, but it's really elaborate. It took him a while to get to where he liked it. He made a heating box. He made a box that put out heat. And he put the frame on top of the heating box to heat the plastic, and then get ready to pull it off the box and drop it on the vacuum former. But it's heating plastic evenly, Beck. That's why, like, I want to buy one, but they're so damn expensive. And again, I don't use much vacuum forming. If I do, it's like small pieces and things. Oh, Kim goes, hey, what happened to the mask that you were wearing, alien enough? What happened to the mask that weren't alien enough? I'm sorry, Kim, what are you asking? I get my dad to help me with the frame. It was, yeah, that's, something, you're right. If you get old toasters, I've seen people do that. You take the toaster element, those things put out heat. You just got to set up the frame. I mean, if your dad's a machinist, he definitely can help you out. Rig up a frame would be nice. But yeah, Becky, if you get a vacuum former, you'd be unstoppable. You do a lot. Again, making bucks and stuff's always tricky too. Oh, the mask you made for the movie is what I mean. Which mask I made for the movie? Oh, you mean the mask with the goggles and stuff? Is that you referred to, at Gundam? I mean, what happened was I was making them, and then I've kit bashed a lot in my career. I started off kit bashing. I would buy toy guns and kit bash stuff all over the place. The pieces you want to make and need plenty of chrome. The pieces I want to make need plenty of chrome. Oh no, you're right. I mean, the trick is you can, to a degree, with sealing. It's what you seal it with, multiple layers or whatnot. But you're right. If you want to make plastic pieces, Becky, I don't want to stop you. I used to work at a shop where they had a vacuum former. And I got spoiled, so I'd make pieces for myself at the shop. I'd make little vacuum form pieces. But yeah. It looks all marshmallowy. What is it you're making, Beck, that you need a vacuum former? Tell you what, those guys are dry enough now. Let me do the other parts. Hold on. Okay, while those guys are drying, let's go ahead and move on to these parts right here. Same drill, I'm gonna pop it out. And add some contact cement. All the sides. What's so great about this technique, is that you have control on how you can go, really shallow. You can go just a little bit. You can go as deep as you like. Because back in the old days, I used to cut holes in the foam and just put foam behind it. But when you're dealing with 10 mils, it's a 10 millimeter step down, which is sometimes too deep. But doing stuff like this, it gives you a little bit more of that control. So you just have more of an accent opposed to something being too steep. Yeah, that's good. Just like that. That's what I wanted. Like that. One more time. A little dabby. Now you notice when I'm doing this, I don't put a lot on. It just needs to be really thin. You just want to make sure the glues touching each other. That's one thing that's great about contact cement, that when it dries, it grabs, but when it's wet, you have a little bit of working time, so you can definitely do this kind of stuff. There we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and let that dry. Now what I do is I like to let things dry between, because what happens if I'm going to start dremeling and I'm afraid I'm just going to bump it or move things with my fingers. So now that everything's set where I like it, I like to go ahead and let it dry for a little bit before we start doing anything else. So let's go ahead and let that dry then. Alright. Put it back in the face. So what we're going to do today, once we get that, I take a stone bit, clean those edges, and then I'm going to take an X-Acto blade. Again, I'm going to swap the blades out so it's brand new, and then we're going to cut some scribe line details. I've been watching Steven, SKS Prop, and doing. I used to take a wood burner for detail, and I realized just using a straight knife and doing the heat shrink thing with EVA foam looks so much sharper and cleaner that I like it. So I'm going to do that on this helmet, and what that'll end up doing will give us a guideline for paint as well too. So now you're adding detail, you're also making your masking line, so where you're going to mask when you paint it. And for the helmet, definitely want to do some different colors for the helmet. Ever used? Yes, I have. I've used EVA foam on vacuum foamers. The trick is, I worked on, I worked at a shop and I saw some bodies they did. It was for Foster's. A Foster's beer commercial, and like everybody was like the same, like they're all like these robots, and focus there, and the gag was everybody, and then they pull a zipper and they all come on these suits. So they made these bodies, and they made fiberglass molds. They made fiberglass molds of the bodies, and they laid them down, and they vacuum formed L2 EVA foam into the molds. So they heat up the foam, and they did a negative mold. So they're able to suck it into the mold, and it got all the detail. It was a really elaborate trick, but so therefore they just made a whole bunch of them. So much work for these goofy. That's back in the days when you would spend millions of dollars on commercials. I mean, they still do, but it was a lot of effect stuff. And Steve Johnson, Edge Effects, those guys did that stuff. That's good. Oh yeah, I do. I use wood burner too. Wood burner has its place. It's like certain things like that. For this particular helmet, I'm going to do the Yeah, because yeah, wood burning is great. I always like to use a metal straight edge. I'm a big fan of wood burning. But on this one, I'm going to do mostly just scribing in detail. Um, yeah, so when that dries, let's take the stone bit and we'll just soften the edges. And then after that, then we'll cut off the back of the details and we'll sand those guys. And so I'm just thinking out loud before I do it. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry, I moved the mic. Ted, pay attention. Okay, the contact cement is dry. Now we have our stone bit. I have a bit of a stone bit here with a round edge to it. I'm going to take the stone bit and go over the edges that I feel like there's some like little lips and high edges on it. So I'm just going to take this and grind this down very lightly to take off the high points. Okay, oops. All right, nice. Got all these edges taken down. It's good. What do you? Yeah, I just run my fingers, and when you feel the high points, you can just hit them, sand them down. Now let's get my craft knife. Let's get a. Again, we're gonna do some scribe line detail work. But let me replace this blade. This one's dull. Let me get another one here. I have this wonderful flexible ruler I really like here. I'm just going to use that to keep this on the path when I'm scribing. It might be all right. Just follow the line. This is right here on this detail. I'm going to take this guy and cut right into the foam like this. And just stay right on that line. And cut all the way down here like that. Perfect. Same thing here. This is the line. It's going to come up here. We're going to cut here and then across. Take a look. Here, line this up just like that. Start there. Got it. And then from here, nice. Making sure I get my groove. Keep sure that blade stays in there. All right, got it. Nice. Tell you what, let me see if we can sharpen this guy really quick. Okay. This time let's start with the front right here. Tell you what, let's screw it. Let's freehand this. Just take my hands, cut deep. That. And from here, go straight back. Like that. All right. And this right here is another scribe line right down here. That. All right. Let's get the heat gun. It's funny, the one I did freehand was actually better. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little wacky. That's all right. We can just there's some strands in here. Okay. Now we got our detail lines. We're going to go ahead and take some gap filler and fill the gaps on the seams. Now, this is why I like to do the scribe lines first. Therefore, when I'm filling with the gap filler, I don't fill these guys in. We leave these open, but we fill everything else in. So, I got my couple, here, let's get a little cup of water. Right there. And some gap filler and my metal spatula. Again, everybody, I'll have links for this below. This is gap filler, Prop Monkey Studios. It is the Bondo of cosplay. And it's good for this stuff right here, filling in the trenches. That. Mm-hmm. What I like to build it up and just kind of go over it like that. This stuff does dry rather quickly, so what I do is I like to get in the seams, come back over it, clean it up. Like that, see? Got it. And then I take my finger and some water and you smooth it out. And you kind of fade it on the end, you know, fade it in. You can apply it, let it dry and sand it, but I found that it's a little tougher to fade the edges in when you're sanding it, so you put it on well and then you wet it and you just blend off the edges when it's wet. And then you can go back again and hit it one more time with sandpaper and it just really smooths things out. But that's how I get these nice finishes on the helmets. It's from the amazing gap filler. Because I used to work with Quickseal. Don't get me wrong, Quickseal was good, but not as good as gap filler. So, because my edges now can be a little sloppy, because I know I'm going to go back later and finish it with with gap filler. Because before I used to go back and really struggle with these edges. So I'm going to go and make sure this does not get clogged. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Center seam. Back here. All right. Do this side. All right. Okay. All right. Get that right in there like that. Okay, looks good. Smooth it out. And come back in with some water. Because yeah, this stuff does skin up rather quickly, so it's good to, that's why I do just do one side at a time. Back in the old days, I used to just do all this and then try to do it in one pass, and I'd find that the gap filler dried out so much it was hard to wet it and soften it because it took too long to get to it. So I always find that when I'm doing this, it's best to do one side at a time. Like lay down the gap filler and then come back in with your wet finger and smooth it out. Especially for this helmet, because I want to do like a metallic finish on this. I think I might do the metallic blues. And when you're doing metallic surfaces, are there any deviations or they pop? You can see them because they're in the reflection in the paint job. So, all right, excellent. Now you notice I haven't put the earpieces on because I want to do all this stuff first. Because there's this big seam right here, so I want to make sure everything's all dry. Then we'll glue the earpieces on last. So let's go ahead and let this dry. Oh, wait a minute. I missed the front. Right there. Okay, now let's let that dry. Sorry. Say again. All right, everything has been all patched up. We're going to go ahead and let this dry. Hey everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Woof. Okay, getting ready for our trip. Becky says, "Hey Ted, Northern Viking Gob says, big hello on Twitch." Oh hey, Norwegian Viking God, thank you so much. Sorry, I've been working. Again, if you're watching this on Twitch, thank you so much. You also can come over here and join me on YouTube Live. Evil Head channel where I have my chats open. So I'm unfortunately cannot see the chat on Twitch, but I definitely do stream at the same time. But thank you, Norwegian Viking. Thank you. For those who don't scribe lines often, mark the sides of your blade with a Sharpie, a piece of masking tape. Yeah, it does. That's a good idea. Nice trick. Hey, April. What's up? Says, morning, Ted. Sunday. The helmet looks awesome so far. Thank you so much. April, how you been doing? I haven't seen you in a while. You guys, really quickly, April is a really great cosplayer. And you're in Europe, I think Germany, but I think, or Austria. Ginnam says, I've always worried by using gap filler wrong, but it looks like Ted Gobs on wide too. Yeah, what I do is I put it on wide and kind of build it up and then feather it out. And then if it's too high, no biggie, because you let it dry, and I go back over it with a 220 sandpaper, just kind of a little top of it to sand it down, even it up a little bit, and when you seal it, it really makes things disappear. So thank you. Really quickly, guys, I am frantically finishing up the Colonial Marine helmet. That video's done. It took forever. I got to cut down, and I'm going to have that up next week, and I will have it done this week. I'm going to start jumping on part 2. Part 2 goes a lot faster because it's mostly just painting and assembling, but doing the build part takes a while to cut. But that's done, and so next week I'm starting to cut on part 2. So it's exciting. Get that thing done. Yeah, I grew up on Pee-wee. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it was like, Mr. Lizard. Yeah, he was a stand-up comedian. He has some cameos in the Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. He was in that movie. He played a comedian, but yeah, it's a. Oh, DM Drigo says, thank you for teaching us skills. Greeting from Austria. Yeah, hello, Austria. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Becky's like, oh my God. Oh my God, you mean the Pee-wee stuff? Man, people don't realize Pee-wee's Playhouse at the time when it was a Saturday morning show, it was huge. People loved it. And that was a spin-off of a sitcom he did. He did a stage show out here in Los Angeles. It was called Pee-wee's Playhouse, and it was a stage thing he did for HBO. And Phil Hartman and all these guys that came on board, and a bunch of band members, a lot of punk rock bands and guys were in it. And it was such a great, really funny avant-garde show. And when it got picked up for a series, apparently he cut a lot of those people loose. I know Phil Hartman was kind of like, what? Like, they like wrote that show together. Oh, we rented that movie in high school. Good Utah country teens, and promptly didn't understand it. Which movie, Becky? What'd you rent? Oh, Up in Smoke. Yeah, it's a mess. It's out there. It's really weird, and yeah, it's Cheech and Chong. And give me their record stuff was brilliant. All the audio stuff is brilliant. It was very funny, and then they sold so many records. They're Cheech and, but people loved them. That's how they started, and then got turned into films. Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. Man, tons of people are in that show, and a lot of people that helped develop it and grow the stage play. But yeah, my God, Cowboy Curtis was that's who he was. But yeah, that show was, we loved. You'd never seen anything like it. It was so obscure, so it was very, it's very punk rock. People don't realize the Pee Wee Herman show was kind of anti, kind of like regular. It just was chaos, and it made the show so great. Yeah, it was just hysterical. Saturday morning, so Saturday morning show, and yeah, I would be at home and my scream, "What's the secret word?" Ah, and they'd yell the secret. Yeah, so absurd but great. Freaking love that show. Anyway, I digress. We're gonna let this dry, and then unfortunately that's gonna take a while. So we'll probably I'll shoot separately. I'll probably shoot that when it's dry. I'll shoot that video of me sanding it and sealing it. Then therefore next stream when you guys come back, we can paint it. So I can walk you guys through the paint job. Because yeah, I still have to sand it. I have to glue those earpieces on. Or should I wait? Should I just wait next week? Yeah, I think I always find it just easier just to not do anything until stream. Because I got so many. So when I'm not streaming, I got other things I have to be doing. So I might just save this for stream only. Or we can stop recording. Let's do that. Stop recording now. But we loved the radio Cheech and Chong show classes. Yeah, that is true. Everybody, really quickly, if you guys saw me on social media and I was posting this whole big thing about, hey, which convention would you like to see me at? And everybody, which was very funny. Everybody started writing me, like messaging me in the thread, like, here's the cons we want you to go to. I'm like, no, you guys, you're missing the point. I want you guys to write to your local con. If there's a convention you would like me to be a guest at, let them know that you want me as a guest. That's the way it works, because otherwise, they don't know who I am. And again, I don't blame the conventions. It's not their job to keep up on current events. They know who actors are. They know voice actors and anime actors and TV actors and movie actors. That's pretty easy to book those guys. I mean, well, they're expensive. But you get people like myself and makers, you have to tell them, because convention people don't make costumes. You guys do. The con goers. You dress up, and the cons, you watch my videos to make the costumes. So it'd be great if you guys want me to come to the convention. Let them know, and get your friends. Not just you, but bombard them with emails. Man, too much Diet Coke this morning. But bombard them and say, hey, we want Evil Ted as a guest. Oh my God, Dr. Demento. Ooh, Midwest. Dude, they played stuff that you would never. There was one that was a Dr. Demento track they played called Kinko, the Kid-Loving Clown. It was so disturbing. It was funny and dark and disturbing about a pedophile clown. And it's like, Kinko, the kid-loving clown. When the kids are around, I never wear a frown. And hi, kids, I'm Kinko. I really like you kids. Really, really. Yeah, and of course, in the song, Kinko gets busted. They lock, and that's the only what justifies the song is he sings this whole song about being this creepy clown, and then the cops catch him at the end and lock him up. They go, I'll see you kids in the next 60 years. Yeah, Kinko, the kid. I wonder if you can even find that track anywhere. We used to listen to that song and laugh our asses off. Yeah, Kinko, the kid-loving clown. When the kids don't love me back, I always... Yeah. If they don't love me back, I wear a frown. We go to Kinko's house. Yeah, we go to Kinko's house. There's never any room. All little hideaway paths. Yeah, it's so funny. That was like the 80s. 70s and 80s. You know. Oh, Dead Puppies and Fish Heads. Yeah, the Fish Head song, people love... That was so weird. It was almost so weird it was dumb. Like, I got it, but... Yeah, it was terrible. One of the most religious, my friends, rented Monty Python's Meaning of Life, based on skits on Dr. Demento, and they were very offended. Oh my God, dude, yeah. Meaning of Life just rips into like Christianity, Catholics. It's just, Meaning of Life, I loved, it just made fun of both classes, English and Catholics, just because it's English was heavily Christian and Catholic, and they fought each other all the time. So when Monty Python did it, they just ripped into it. Both sides. It was brilliant. Love that movie. They were very offended. I said, good day. Dragon, MD Dragon, there was a couple of good tutorials if you want to make your own EVA foam. I just guess get styrofoam head and build up with tape foam from your measure. Yeah, I've done that. I've done duct tape patterns on my head. I do have I have a friend's head cast. He has a large head and bigger than mine, so I used to use his head all the time to make patterns. But yeah. Boot to the head. Oh, Particle Man does whatever a Particle Man can. Oh, every sperm is sacred is brilliant. Every sperm is sacred. Every sperm is good. If let the heathen spill theirs on the dusty ground. Yeah. If a sperm gets wasted, God gets quite irate. Let the heathen spill theirs on the dusty ground. Yeah, Michael Palin would write. He's the guy who write all that. Guy who's so good. He wrote all that stuff. And then all the kids would break into song. It's so good. Good times, guys. I like that we're all dating our ages here. It's Gundam. How old are you, brother? You know some old stuff. I know Becky and I are on the same age. Well, give or take some years, but we're in the same demographic of music and TV shows. Now, Kathy, I'm 61. I wouldn't call it memory. I just lived long. You know, it's a thing that I have to wrap my head around when I was a kid, and it's starting to sink into me now that I'm older. My father unfortunately died at 55. Oh, at 45. There you go, Gundam. Yes, good age range. My dad was at 55 when he died, and he had he had like a ruptured artery, an aortic aneurysm, but internally. He went fast. It was dreadful. But the thing was, my dad, when he grew up, it went from, they all, in his lifetime, they huddled around the radio show, because they grew up on radios, okay? So it was the radio program, The Shadow Knows, and all these shows he loved. And then it went from radio, and he'd go to pick TV shows for like 10 cents and things, see movies for 10 cents. And it went from radio to televisions, and television, like everybody thought was a fad, it's not going to last. Then my dad lived from radio to television, and then from television to cable, and then it's like, and then went from VHS to DVD to Laserdisc, and like videos and within my I think no. Laserdiscs were just DVDs just started coming, and then my dad died in '89, so I don't think DVDs are out yet. I think they were coming out. They were just starting. They just were starting to hit the scene around the time my dad died. Ted. So Crane asked on Twitch if you were to 3D print a stamp of a rock, walk away after heating it up, would the foam keep the stamp shape? Oh yeah. I have a stamp somebody made me. Here, hold on, I'll show you. I got a little stamp. Yeah, it works with EVA foam great. If you have especially thick EVA foam, here we go. Let me show you real quick. Demonstration time. Set this up, let this dry. Move this over here. My friend made this like little Evil Ted stamp. See a heat gun. Yeah, let me press a little harder. Hold on. Yeah, Evil Ted. Focus. There you go. See? Yeah, my plan was to Furry Machine says your tips help me a lot. Furry Machine, thank you so much. Yeah, that's my mission, to get you guys to make your own stuff. But if you were a hot woman, tell you. But if you're were a hot woman, I'd tell you 30. Honestly, a lot of old radio shows and audio dramas and genres are great to listen to while working on projects. Oh my God, 15th anniversary. Oh, Kevin says, 15th anniversary for your 30th birthday. I'll be 15 November. There you go, Becky. Catching up with me. Oh, it went so fast. Proving it was hard to keep up and can't afford it. Oh, there's of course he's 46. I think it was 38. It says Wicked. Okay, thank you. I was to say something. I forgot what the heck it was. Hold on. Crap. Lost my train of thought. Not the first time that happened. Oh, we guys. Yeah, I usually stream for like about 2 hours, and I just don't. So, if you guys want to hang out for an hour, I've been having a ton of fun working with UV Foam to make a magical cosplay, and thanks for your videos and things that worked out pretty well for me. Oh, fantastic, Furry Machine. Thank you so much. Yeah, Furry Machine, that is my mission, to get people to build their own stuff. I learned that when I started doing it, God, it was 10 years ago, when I watched other people's videos, and I started watching what I liked and what I didn't like about the videos. So I just started making notes of what I liked and what I didn't like, and I started when I made my videos, I just made what I liked. I started doing like, I wanted to explain everything I was doing step by step. And some people would start to build, and they would just cut away and it'd be done, or they would do these little steps that they weren't talking about. I'm like, what is that? What are you doing? So, yeah, I got to a point where when I make videos, they sometimes run, like this Colonial Marine helmet's going to be a bit long, but I did it that way so I covered all the details on my builds. So when you go to make the helmet, you know exactly what I'm doing. So that's why I like doing what I do. Horsehead says 55 so far. Yeah, guys, I'm 61. I realize that my retirement age is 60. I want to retire in 67. I'm like, that's 7 years from now. It's going to go fast. So I have a lot of stuff I want to do before I retire. Your mission is working great. Thanks, Furry. That is it. That's my mission. Hey, Furry, if there's a convention near you would like to see me at, this is my shameless plug, everybody. Again, if you guys are watching me, Becky, can anybody tell me how many people are in chat right now? I can't tell. I'm sure on Twitch. I can't see on Twitch, but how many people on YouTube? If you guys are watching this, I'm watching from home, please, if you would like to see me somewhere at a convention in the year 2025, reach out to your local con and let them know you'd like Evil Ted as a guest. Say, because they bring out a lot of voice actors and movie actors, and they're the same actors that go at every convention, but you want to bring makers out like myself, let them know you want me as a guest, because they don't know who I am. It's not their job to. They just run conventions. So let them know that you would buy tickets to come to an event to see me. So that'd be great. Oh, Becca, so you liked Alien and Deadpool? Yes. Here's the thing. I loved Alien. I mean, Alien Prometheus. Alien Romulus. Sorry. Alien Romulus, I really enjoyed. There's some little cringe moments in it, but overall as a film, I think they did a great job. I think they're really clever with what they did. Deadpool was fun and wacky. I think the first two are great. The first Deadpool movies are great. The third one's okay. It's more of an homage to all the other actors. And again, like I said, Wesley Snipes' Blade, Ryan Reynolds showed them, and he even makes a joke in the movie about it. Hey man, there's only one Blade. He even looks at the camera like, yeah, there's one Blade. So before you start this whole Blade franchise, do one more with Wesley Snipes. Do like a Logan one where he dies or something, but just give the guy one more movie, you know. Oh, everybody's at Dragon Con. I know. How many, Becky? 19. Yeah, that's what I figured. Everybody's at Dragon Con. You're absolutely right. They're all like, those bastards. I know. I last night, Hothclaw cosplay in Florida. He live streamed from his phone. He messaged me and we video chatted with everybody in the hotel. I'm like, hey Ted, like waved to me on a Saturday night. They're all getting dressed up to go out, and we were talking about wanting to do a cosplay together. So, but yeah, I definitely would like to see you at a con. I live in Brazil, and we still don't have. I still. Look, tell you what. Don't worry. I'll come to you. Portugal and Brazil. Yeah, Brazil would be awesome. I'd love to come to Brazil. But do you need to apply? I'm sorry. What do I need to call? Do I need to apply? No. The trick is, I don't apply. How I go to convention. What it usually works, guys. Conventions will hear about me, and they reach out to me and go, "Hey, we'd like to bring you out, Ted. What is your appearance fee? What do you do? Blah blah blah." And so I have a little package thing and all the stuff. What I do for conventions, and I contact them. But otherwise, I can't reach out to them. And I discovered it last year. My assistant Peter and I got all gung ho because we were doing cons. I really liked it, and I wanted to do more. I said, I said, Pete, we're going to go ahead and go all these. And so when we started to reach out to conventions, I found out really quickly they're really difficult to get in contact with or know the right people. So what ended up happening was, I thought the best way to do it is have people, not me, but you tell them that you want me there, because I can't reach them. Bill Duran did an awesome cosplay with his twin brother at Dragon Con. If Anime ID talks to me again, I'll hype you up. I also tell them to hit the advertising. Much. Yeah. It's so funny when they don't realize that, because they need to get some like youngster to do their social media. They're like, oh, we'll do this. Like, no, get some kid, give them all the work and the artwork and the links, and let them do the social media. Like Kamala Harrison. She's not doing the TikToks. She's got a bunch of young people run the TikToks for her. It's like, that's how you do it. Most celebrities that do TikToks do them themselves. They do, but they usually have young people do it for them. Oh, Furry Machine, I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I would love to come to Brazil. Let them know. Don't ask me. I know you're begging me to go, but I have no power. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't have the power to go to these conventions. You have the power. So don't ask me, please, to come to these conventions. I can't do it without your help. You have to let them know that you want me as a guest. So please, trust me. I tried. It doesn't work that way. I just hit people up and they're like, there's just no way to reach them. It's the amazing "don't call us, we'll call you" thing. Oh, Kevin's outside Open Sauce, which is so called. Yeah, Open Sauce. I would love to go. It's an event you have to like. I say, oh, we'd love you to come, and here's the fee to go. I'm like, I'm not going to pay to go to a convention. Like, conventions bring me out. So Open Sauce is a big maker convention, I think. I've heard a lot about it. When I looked into it, like, I think I have to apply and see if I'm worthy of going. I think my numbers are too low. If I'm like, maybe I have 200,000 subscribers, maybe, but I'm like not quite 2,000, 200,000. So it's weird. It's like, it's a number thing. I would love to go or get invited to. Thanks to you, when someone asked me how I made something, I had what you taught me about pattern and say, like everything in my life, we follow patterns. And if you want to make the pattern first. Yeah. It's once you start building Like that's why I have these. I have some free ones on my website, and I want to add some more free ones eventually. But it's getting the idea of starting to cut and glue, and just you make your first thing, and you start to understand, make your own pattern. You start to get out. You break that uncomfortable zone, and you start to get more comfortable the more you do it. But you have to hit that struggle. You have to hit that hump where you have to figure it out, and that's the part where you start learning. But yeah, you're right. Thank you so much, Nicole. You could definitely apply to Decon to do a. Here's the link. Yeah, I can't, yeah, there's a link. Decon. Decon is different. Okay. Or you can moderate a panel. Hey, Jojo. How you guys doing? Yes, I'm doing my live stream right now, guys. I'm sure you're all at DragonCon having a blast. You bastards. Guys, I'm glad you're having a good time. I really like Boise, Idaho is the shirt state, but I like Boise. Oh, I'm not a fan of trains and planes. Okay. Hey, Ted, do you have a media kit? Yes, I do, Becky. I do have a media kit. I will send it to you later. Jojo, will you ever? I will never stop begging you to come. Oh no, don't, Jojo. I want to come, just can't afford it. So I'm realizing that I'm talking to some friends about we're going to do a cosplay group together for next year. And the idea we have a group that we can kind of source our resources and pull money together and do something like get an Airbnb or something like that. And yeah, but we're going to start planning for next year. We run a little con at our local city. I think I could pull some strings to make it happen. Well, you just have to be able to pay for my flight, get me out there, I think. Because if that media kit was linked to your website, it would make it easier for us to share why you're great. A media kit on my website. It's not a bad idea. Like, just have a page, like who I am. Because I thought my website would be enough. Like, you just send them to my website, but we're doing great. Just missing you here. Oh, thanks, Jojo. Thank you so much. Right, guys. It's Jojo and her Mattia have they have a great channel. It's BB Prop Show, BB Props they call themselves, and they're a great cosplay group together. They make great fun things. That's the plan. All right. Oh, she got to finish her costume. Yeah, there's more than a few cosplay folks who have links of their kits. Plexi has a good example. Well, I have a media kit template. You're right. You know something? I do have one. You're right. I should just have it on the website. You're absolutely right. That's what I'll do, Becky. I do have one. I made one up and I sent it to people, but you're right. I should have it on my website. Well, Plexi, she made mine for me. I send it to her and she updates it. So when I get more numbers or things change a little bit, I just keep adding stuff to it because she's the one that made the template for me. Well, she's a template, and I always offer to pay her too. She does great work, so to make my media kit. But you're right, Becky. That's what I'll do. I'll put my media kit on the page, so when people, good idea, Becky. I'll have that as a page, like media. I'll just say media kit. You click on it, and it should take you to the page. I'll talk to Peter about doing that. So I'll have the media kit on my my front page, so you can click on it and send that to people. On my Instagram, I think I have it too. I might have it on my Instagram. I'll look into it. But yeah, mine's and I think my what is that? I have numbers on it, but I think my numbers need to be updated because my Instagram and my TikTok numbers, every time I keep checking it gets bigger and bigger. So always try to do it. How long did you take? Oh, how long did it take you to design the VR Ranger suits? Oh my God. We built the first one, metal Cybertron, I think it was originally named, the Japanese name. He was the blue and red one. That took like weeks, like 4 weeks. And it was like a bunch of us on that show. That was so crazy. We had to turn that costume around so fast. And just as we finished, they go, hey, we want 2 more suits. We're just like, what? So then we had to make 2 more. It was insane. We didn't have enough time at all. That was during the Northridge earthquake. We had a big earthquake, and we were in the middle of the show making VR troopers, the costumes for the show, and then an earthquake happened. Everything shook, and so I, like a knucklehead, I got up in the morning to go to work. I'm like anything. The house shakes. I wake up. I'm like, whatever. I go back to sleep. Get up, get in my car. My friend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to go to work. He goes, dude, you can't go to work. Like, bridges have collapsed. The city's shut down right now. Everything's chaos. I'm like, what? So lo and behold, yeah, nobody was at work because there was an earthquake. So we got pushed back, and so then we went back and talked to the guys, Saban, who was doing VR Troopers. So like, where's our suits? Like, oh, there was a delay. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's an earthquake. The city's shut down. We couldn't get supplies. We had an earthquake. I know, act of God. They were screaming. I was like, so we were behind. We were a little late with the suits because of the earthquake. I've heard of Saban. Yes. Yes, you have. Yeah, Troopers 3, virtual reality. Yeah, I did the VR Trooper suits. You guys who want to see pictures of them, you can jump over to eviltedsmith.com where I have pictures of the VR Trooper suits. Yeah, the freeway, it collapsed. There's an overpass. Just everything's like a motorcycle officer, a CHP officer, drove to his death because he didn't realize it was dark. So he was on his motorcycle driving back, and he just drove off the overpass because he didn't realize that the bridge collapsed. He just kept driving, and because it was night, it was dark, and by the time he realized, it was too late. So yeah, earthquakes, you don't get back on the road. You like, it was pretty brutal. Bad. Anyway, on a happy note, let's talk about some fun stuff, guys. Let's talk about Dragon Con. Let's talk about some costumes. Let's talk about cosplay and making stuff and getting me to conventions next year. Today, everybody thinks the helmet is dry. It's going to look good. We're going to get Santa, put these ears on. I'll save all that for next stream. Right now, I'm helping my friend on a movie called Eon Blade, so I'm making some stuff today. So after stream today, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm not going to sit here like, yeah, true horror. It's terrible. Oh, what were the suits made of? Fiberglass. We the fabric parts were fabric, and everything else was fiberglass. There was no foam. Like, we sculpted and molded everything out of fiberglass. That's how the Japanese suits are. All those suits. Some shows over the years have gotten better. They make a lot of stuff out of foam, but all the roulette stuff, all those guys, it was all fiberglass. Hey, I may have extra SLC FanX tickets this year. Extra tickets? We are links to crafting groups. Are there any links to crafting groups? Oh, yes, Court. Go to Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Evil Ted's Foam Fanatics. It's a Facebook group I started years. It's like 14,000 and growing. It's a great build community. If you have questions or, there's tons of people in there who are fantastic builders, everything from novice to professional, and they're all across the country and different, and so if you're in a different country and you want to know what people use for glue, that's a great place to go to. So when you go to Evil Ted's Foam Fanatics, I have 2 questions. How'd you hear about me and why you want to join? Just fill out those 2 questions, and then boom, you're in. So yeah, please, that's a great resource. If you people are new to cosplay and you want to learn more, go to Evil Ted's Foam Fanatics. What makes that group so great is that it's international. So if you're working on something at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know. You could type it in. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon out there somewhere, but there's always somebody there to help you out. And it's strictly cosplay. We have no trolls. We have great moderators. So if anybody gets snarky or nasty or entitled, they're gone. So it's a great group. Can I confirm? Foam phonetics. Yes. Oh, JoJo's like, yes. Evil Ted's Foam Phonetics. Just make sure you answer the 2 questions and boom, you're in. Great book. Great book. Great group. A court. So yes, thanks for asking. It's a great place to go to. A great place for fellow crafters. Everybody there are really good. And I love it. There's such great questions and great answers. And everybody, if you have like, like if you're doing something like, oh, I don't know what that, here's a video with this, or so many people know other people to direct you to it. So just a heads up, if you show people some costumes and don't what? No, huh? Sorry, my chat thing is too. Doesn't involve a franchise sometimes. Yeah, in other words, you're trying to promote other things too much. Because we always tell people we're not there to sell things, not sell stuff. I don't mind tell people about their videos and things, but try not to sell things. We try to keep it really just mostly cosplay. But it's a great group. Just go there, check it out. Well, tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This was fun today. Everybody, thank you for showing up. Next time we'll be sanding and getting ready to seal it. It'll be fun. Making my Mega Man helmet. Magaman-X, that is. But again, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're new to this channel, please do not forget, guys, to like and subscribe. If this is your first time to my channel, like, subscribe, leave comments, tell your friends about it. If you're a cosplay, also go to Evil Ted's Foam Fanatics. When you join, make sure to answer the 2 questions and write to your local convention and say, we would love to have Evil Ted as a guest. The more you let them know, the more likely they will bring me. Thank you guys so much. And I'll catch you back next time, next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the Evil Ted channel. I'm sorry, Evil Ted Live. All right, guys, take care. Thank you.